Hey, and welcome to the stuff you should think about. I'm your host, G, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how rigor mortis works. When we talk about rigor mortis, we're talking about one of the most quietly dramatic transitions in biology. A moment when the body, having spent a lifetime in motion, enters a final stillness. And to understand how that happens, we have to zoom out, widen the frame, and look at the human body not as a static object, but as a dynamic machine powered by chemistry, electricity, and the relentless flow of energy. Let's start with something simple. Every movement you've ever made, every step, every breath, every blink, is the result of tiny molecular engines inside your muscle cells. These engines run on a molecule called ATP, the universal energy currency of life. ATP is what allows muscle fibers to contract and relax. It's the fuel that keeps the machinery humming. But when life ends, the supply of ATP stops, not instantly, but inevitably. And that's where the story of rigor mortis begins. Imagine a city where the power grid suddenly shuts down, traffic lights freeze, elevators stop mid floor, machines halt in place. The city doesn't disappear, it just loses the energy that kept everything moving. The human body works the same way. When the heart stops beating, oxygen stops flowing. Without oxygen, cells can't produce ATP. And without ATP, the molecular engines inside the muscles lock into place. This locking is rigor mortis. But let's zoom in a little further, down to the microscopic level. Muscles contract when two proteins, actin and myosin, slide past each other like interlocking fingers. ATP is what allows those fingers to release, reset, and slide again. Without ATP, the fingers stay locked. The muscle freezes in a contracted state. And because this happens across the entire body, the whole system stiffens. It's not magic, it's chemistry, it's physics. It's the natural consequence of a biological machine running out of fuel. Now, rigor mortis doesn't happen instantly, it unfolds in stages, like a cosmic event with its own timeline. A few hours after death, the body begins to stiffen. Over the next several hours, the stiffness spreads from the small muscles of the face to the larger muscles of the limbs. At its peak, the body becomes rigid, almost statue like. But then, just as gradually as it happened, rigor mortis fades. The muscles soften again. The body returns to a state of stillness, but without the tension. Why does it fade? Because biology doesn't stop at death. Enzymes, the same molecular tools that once built and repaired your tissues, begin breaking down the proteins that cause the stiffness. The interlocking fingers of actin and myosin dissolve. The machinery disassembles, and the body, no longer held in tension, relaxes. It's a reminder that death is not a moment, it's a process, a transition, a shift from one state of matter to another. But let's zoom out even further. Beyond the chemistry, beyond the biology, to the cosmic perspective, the atoms that make up your muscles, your cells, your entire body were forged in stars billions of years ago. They assembled into molecules capable of movement, sensation, and thought. For decades, those molecules cooperated in the extraordinary project of being alive. And when that project ends, the molecules don't vanish. They simply return to the universe, piece by piece, through processes like rigor mortis, decomposition, and the slow recycling of matter. Rigor mortis, in that sense, is not just a biological event. It's a reminder of the temporary nature of the structure we inhabit, a reminder that life is defined not by atoms themselves, but by the energy that animates them. When that energy stops flowing, the structure remains for a time before dissolving back into the cosmic pool from which it came. And here's the poetic part: the same laws of physics that govern rigor mortis also govern the stars. The same principles of energy, entropy, and molecular interaction shape everything from the contraction of a muscle to the collapse of a dying sun. Biology is just physics with a storyline, chemistry with ambition, matter that learn to move, think, and wonder. So, how does rigor mortis work? It works because the universe runs on energy. And when the flow of energy stops, systems change, muscles stiffen, molecules lock, and the body enters a final, quiet equilibrium. It's not morbid, it's not mysterious. It's just the universe doing what it has always done, transforming matter from one state to another, guided by laws that are as elegant as they are inevitable.